Sorry, working on a new system here, and so it'll be a learning process for all of us involved.
Okay.
I can't hear it very well.
You can't hear me that well?
The volume's a little low.
How about if I bring this closer?
Can we raise it on ours?
Nope, it's all the way up.
I'll try to talk as loud as I can, but if you need me to repeat anything, you just let me know.
Okay.
Perfect. First thing, could I just have you both state and spell your full names for me, please?
Yep, it's Tammy Sisson, TammySisson.
Pete Sisson, Petesisson.
And how did you all both meet Kathy and Ralph?
I'm sorry, how did we meet them? About 8 or 9 years ago, we were involved in a boat rally from Hampton, Virginia to the Virgin Islands, British Virgin Islands. And they were also involved in the rally. There was about 50 other boats there. And a lot of social activity and seminars and so forth. And we met them there.
How would you describe them as a couple, either one-on-one individually and then obviously together?
They were wonderful. They were very welcoming, down-to-earth people, very friendly. As soon as you met them, you were friends with them. And they were just so big personalities, but lively, like they just love life and love their experience that they were out there doing. And they were just really the nicest welcoming people.
One of the stories I like to tell people is that they had dinner every night on the boat. So we were on the boat for a dozen nights. We were at sea, so we were all together. There was 5 of us on board. We were together 24/7, of course. And Kathy would make sure there was a nice dinner at dinner time, and we all sit at the table. And Ralph would ask us to all join hands, and he'd say a little thank you that they were living the kind of life that they loved living, and we were sharing it with them. And then a prayer for people who weren't as well off as they were, and that's how they lived their life every day. They met people who were not as well off as they were. In the islands, there's an awful lot of poverty, and it didn't faze them at all. They would befriend people from all walks of life.
And what were they doing out there on Simplicity near the islands?
So we went on the rally with them from Hampton to Antigua, and then they were going to experience all the islands from Antigua all the way down to Grenada. There's a lot of beautiful islands down there, and we had told them our experience down there. We loved it. So they had been planning this trip for a long time to get down there and to get the boat ready for it, and to be able to spend a lot of time down there and just experience the culture and the people.
I saw in an interview with CNN, their son, Nick, described this as a dream trip. Is that kind of the idea that you got as well, that this was a dream come true for them to be out there on the water?
Yeah, and I think they felt like that about their whole cruising. This was a special trip, though. Kathy had not done a long crossing like that before, so this was something that she was looking forward to doing, and she did it, and she experienced that, and so they did plan for it for a long time, getting the boat ready, tip-top shape, so nothing would go wrong, and be able to spend as much time as they wanted down there.
And how long did you guys stay with them on the boat before you guys left?
We drove in the night before we left, and then we left the next morning.
And when we got to Antigua, we stayed
a couple nights with
them, went to the beach with them, went to dinner with them. And we had to fly out. We had already booked our airline tickets. So we flew out of there and came back to Rhode Island.
How did you find out that they were missing?
I opened up an email from the Salty Dogs, and it had their picture in the story, and I was just in shock. And I went right to Pete and I said, "Oh my God, you've got to read this. This is terrible. This can't be happening. It's just unreal, and it's heartbreaking." And we're hoping for a miracle, really. would I would love to see a miracle happen and they're found, but it's devastating news, not just to us, obviously, but the whole boating community and their sons and families. It's horrible.
Now that we know all the details, I mean, could you have ever imagined that what actually happened? What did you think maybe happened? I mean, once we know ultimately that it was a hijacking, I mean, how are you even processing all of the information as it's coming out?
Yeah, we spent some time in Grenada. It's a beautiful place. The people are incredibly friendly there. It's like a lightning strike. It doesn't normally happen. It's very rare, and they were in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Despite all of the information that we are kind of getting about this, are you guys still holding out hope that they'll be able to be found?
I am. I'm hoping for a miracle. You know, I mean, the more stories that come out, I guess it's less likely, but I'm just holding out some hope. It's just unbelievable, and I just can't fathom them not being around.
I know that the officials out there have it presumed that they were kind of thrown. I know the officials out there have it presumed that they were thrown overboard, that they might not have made it. Are you concerned that the searches are going to stop at this point and that no one will be looking for them anymore?
Oh, I don't think so. I mean, we don't have any information about that, but I would hope not. If they thought that the search would stop.
Oh, I don't know. We've heard, like everybody else, that apparently at least two of these people confessed to killing them and throwing them overboard. But I mean, we can't trust what they say, can we?
Until we're able to find Kathy and Ralph, how do you think this will impact closure for obviously you all? I mean, for the family, are you able to get it with so many unanswered questions right now?
No.
No, we won't.
No, we're not to get closure before they find them. I mean, I think the family needs it for them to be found, and you know, for the kids especially. I don't know. I just there's no closure right now. No.
At the very least, I think the perpetrators need to be tried. If they need to be tried, if they're confessing, maybe there won't even be a trial, and locked up for the rest of their lives. And that would be some closure for the family and for us. But finding Ralph and Kathy would, one way or the other, would be the ultimate closure.
Yeah.
I'm sure you guys have thought about this already, or I imagine you have, that we might not have been even having this conversation had you guys stayed a few days longer. Have you been able to think about how different things would have been had you all stayed a bit longer?
Yeah, so we have thought about that. And, you know, our first thought was, you know, would we have met the same fate if we were with them? And my take on that is no. There was three of them and just Ralph and Kathy. Had there been four of us and three of them, they might have gone looking for maybe an abandoned boat to steal instead of taking the easy route out, thinking they could overpower an older gentleman and his wife. So I'd like to think that if there was four people on that boat, that this never would have happened.
Yeah, I agree.
Is there guilt then? Do you feel survivor's guilt? I know that happens a lot.
No, for me, it's just an overwhelming sense of loss.
It's just
We still picture them from 3 months ago cruising the ocean on their boat and having dinner with them and being on watch with them and putting up the sails, taking down the sails, driving the boat. This that's how we remember them, and we really haven't come to terms with it.
There's a big community, a big sailing community, a big yachting community, boating community. How is the people around you? How is everyone kind of reacting to this news? I mean, we're seeing the GoFundMe, lots of support is coming in that way. In your own circles, are you guys feeling the love? Are you guys all coming together in this moment?
Oh, yeah. I mean, the sailing community, just like any other big community out there, people have the same interest. And it's just a wonderful community, and everybody's feeling the loss, whether they knew them or not. And a lot of people knew them. They were out there for many years. But even if you didn't know them, it's just a huge loss for the whole community to have something like this happen. It's not something that happens all the time, and it's very rare. And but it hits home with a lot of people. It hits home with us. That was our lifestyle for several years. And we're hoping to have that same lifestyle again in a couple of years. And this, for me, has set me back a little bit. I'm just devastated by the turn of events, and to picture us out there right now, I have a hard time with that right now.
I completely understand that. Before I let you go, could you confirm, did you meet Kathy and Ralph in, I guess, where exactly did you guys meet them again? I just want to make sure I have that correct.
When we originally met, we were in Hampton, Virginia. We had sailed down from Rhode Island to go on the Salty Dog Rally, which was about 50 boats that year, leaving Virginia and sailing to the British Virgin Islands. And so we met them at the Salty Dogs. And I remember when I first really met Ralph, there was half a dozen of us standing around a big table, and he unrolled this big ocean chart and said, "Okay, guys, how are we going to get there?" It was his first real attempt at crossing an ocean. And that was Ralph. He was very direct and always had the big smile on his face. And something I won't forget.
That is my last question for you both. Tammy, if you wouldn't mind sending me any photos that you might all have of either the couple, of you four together, anything that you guys are comfortable sharing with us for the story would be really appreciated. I'm sorry for the audio.
Yeah, I have some pictures from the rally, actually. So.
Yeah, Leanna, there's something else I'd like to add.
Please.
Ralph and Kathy loved Rhode Island, particularly Newport. And they were here quite a few summers.
Yeah.
They would anchor in Newport Harbor, and we were on the boat in Newport Harbor with them last fall, and they were talking about all the friends, long-term friends they had in Newport, people in coffee shops and restaurants and other boaters and the harbor masters. So they were a big presence here in Rhode Island, and they had a lot of friends here.
Yeah, several years.
Thank you for that. I really appreciate that, being able to kind of hone it in, that they had roots here in Rhode Island as well. Thank you both again for hopping on with me. Again, any photos that you'll be able to share, really appreciate it. And again, sorry for the audio being so low.
Oh, it's okay. Thank you. And thank you for sharing that story too. I'm hoping that, it helps with the search and everything else. That's the investigation, everything.
Absolutely.
I had sent a message through Messenger to both Mario and Barbara because I've met them both before, just to let them know that Ralph and Kathy had the Rhode Island connection, and maybe they want to talk about that.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you. I'll make sure that they know.
Okay. And yeah, we'll send along the pictures to the email address.
Perfect. Thank you. And both have a great night.
Thank you.
Is this something that will air tonight?
Yes, tonight at 11.
At 11. Okay. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Leanna.
Bye.
I don't know how to turn this off.